Hey Louie, Keith Daggett here. I made this video to just sort of walk you through some of the basics for starters. And um, let's see, after we log in here, and some of this you might know, but I'm sure you've seen this dashboard before. As far as appearance, um, you had mentioned that you weren't real crazy about this wolf here. And, this theme here, it's kind of based on wolf. There's a paw here for the icons. Um, and so you might want to look at changing that, changing the theme. But first things first, to um, to change that image, that wolf image that's in this header, the way you do that with this theme would be you would go to appearance and then you would go to header and click on that, and that's the current header. Okay, and the way you would change it would be you would just click on browse and then find a file on your computer, um, and then upload it. Okay, that's the way you would do it with that theme. Um, you again, you didn't sound real crazy about this theme, about the wolf. So to change the theme, you would just click on appearance and then themes. Okay, and this is the theme that's selected right here, this Varg theme. And WordPress comes with two themes that get installed as well. And the way you switch from one theme to another is you just select the theme and then you activate it. And everything I do here is going to be reversible. So right now we activated this 2011 theme, and then if we go over here and just refresh the screen, that's what we got. We got kind of a blank canvas here. And so with this theme, if we wanted to add a header, we just do the same thing. Click on header and select an image, and I'll just find one, and I'll delete everything. Not like I'm going to load a bunch of stuff on here, but I'll just find one just to show you. Let's see. Yeah, I'll just take that one. Upload. Okay, so this is a pretty big image. So what it gives you the ability to do is crop and just kind of determine which part of your image, if it's too big, how much of your image you're going to take. Now I don't know if it's going to let me take this whole thing or not, but we'll see. It looks like it's going to take it. So once you do that, then I think it's all set. I'm not particularly familiar with this. I've used this theme a little bit. So if I save changes, go over here and refresh it. Oops. Okay, well, it did insert an image. Obviously this one isn't big enough. So, you were mentioning that that you had a bunch of graphics. I'm thinking that the size would be something in the neighborhood of, at least 900 pixels wide. I think the dimensions here, it says something about, suggested width is 960 pixels. That's the width. And then the height is 250. So that's how you would change the header. And it gives you the option of showing the header, showing the text. I believe the text is going to be Save it. Okay, the header text was the God's Torah right there. So I'll just click that back on. And you can change the color of the text here. So for right now, I'm just going to save that. So there's the header customization. Again, your larger image is going to take up this whole screen. And then the way this theme is set up, the menus, the links are on top, and then the site name and the tagline, as they call it, goes on top. So let's say you want to change this background color here. This is the background. The way you would do that would be you would just go to background, and then if you had an image, you could upload the image and it would show the image in the background. I'll just pick a arbitrary color just to show you. I'm not promising this is going to look real pretty, but again, just to show you. So that's how you do that. That's kind of hard on the eyes. So I'll just go back. And take that color and save it. And then once you switch themes, these settings stay with the theme. So when I go back to that other theme, it's going to take on those the properties that are with that theme right now. So that's how you do that. I will, let's see. The way this thing is set up, the way a blog is set up initially, is it's going to take all of your posts and it's going to put those on the home page. So the way you do a post, now you had mentioned pasting something from a Microsoft Word document. You can easily do that. But the way to do a post, and if you already know this, sorry for being redundant, but basically you just click on Add New, and then that's your title. Okay. This icon here to the far right is hide and show kitchen sink. And when you hit that, it'll give you a few more options. Now I have a plugin that you can install that'll give you some more flexibility as far as let's see, well, we can add colors here, so that's good. Maybe you don't need any, but let's say you wanted this to be, and if you've used Word, then you should be pretty comfortable with all these settings. But as far as changing the size, you would just go right here, and then these headings, those are what'll make it big. So I'm just going to publish this. Actually, I'll show you what it looks like without that. Okay, so there's the first post, and there's the name of it. That's what would be on your home page. That's the way it's initially set up. And then if I went with an H1, a heading 1, that's the largest one in terms of size. I'll update. The other thing you can do, instead of having another tab open, you can just you can preview changes, and you can do that before you actually save it. So let's say you're trying something out and you don't want to save it yet. you just hit preview changes, and it'll show you. And you can see there where the text was bigger. So I'll go ahead and close that. So that's how you do that. And then to, I already showed publish. Let's see. Then the other thing, I noticed that he had some categories, or the person, I should assume it was a he, several categories set up. You could categorize any of your posts into these already set up categories. Or you could add your own new category. And then what that'll do is that'll just organize all of your information. Let's see if we got a category here. See, it's got uncategorized. So let's say as you populate these, when somebody goes, they can click and find all the posts related to whatever the category is. So let's see. So that's how you do posts. As I said, all of your posts, the most recent post is going to appear on your home page. Now, if you wanted to change that, the way you would do that is you would go to settings, and then you would go to reading, click on that, and let's see, it's set up front page displays latest post. So you could change that to let's just say you had a home page. For right now, I'll just do sample page, and I'll save that, and I will go back and just refresh this. And sample page is the one that shows up. So if that was your home page, if you had some static information that that you wanted to make sure was on the home page and you wanted posts somewhere else, you could do that by going to reading and then selecting whatever page. I usually just make a page and call it home, and then make home the front page. And then the way you make a page is basically you just you go to pages, add new. I would call this home, and then you type whatever you have in there. Okay, so if I view that, just preview it, it doesn't look like much. But then let's say you wanted to add an image. The way you do that is you would just go to add media, and there's a lot of different ways you can add an image. I'll put my cursor right here, and I'll click on add media. And then when this comes up, if you have a bunch in your media library, which maybe is another lesson, another discussion, but if you had a bunch, you could just click there. And this is the only one that's in the media library. You could take one that's already in there, but to upload files, you just click on that, select files, find something from your computer. And actually, that's the one I should have did for my home page. I remember that now. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of that. And I'm just going to select this one again. Okay. So what it does is it brings up the title, a description, and then it brings up alignment. I'm going to do left, and you'll see what that is. So if I choose left, what I do is a lot of times I'll just this link, what that's going to do is that's going to create a link to the image, and then if somebody were to click on that image, it would take them to another page that has a bigger, the original size version of that. I don't mess with that too much, so I just go none and then insert into post or into page. And then there's how it does that. And then if we look at that, let's see. Yeah, there we go. So it'll put all the text around it. And then if you had a really long post, like say, it would wrap around the image. So that's how you do that. And then if you, let's say you wanted the image above, and again, if you've worked with Word before, then maybe you know a little bit about images. But you know, I just clicked on this little image here. When you click, this would delete it. This would bring up like the properties, and so I could change this to center, and then as you can see, it puts it above. So let me just go ahead and do that. Show you that. And you can see it's above your text. So whichever way you want to do it. You know, for right now, those are some of the basics. You know, in terms of appearance, you know, you might want to consider another theme, as I mentioned. And if you wanted to look for free themes, you would just click on themes and then install themes. And then there's a lot of different ways that you could search for free themes, by color, by the number of columns, just a lot of different ways you could do it. Or if you had a theme, you would just select upload, and then there's an installer that you upload it in zip format, it unzips it, and then you can install it and stuff. Let's see. Some of this other stuff I wouldn't worry too much about for now. Definitely editor is something you want to stay away from. This is like the code to the theme and stuff. So what else? You know, for initial information, I think I'm just going to leave it at that, and then we can expand on this when we talk. I'm going to undo everything I did. Hopefully this was some help to you, and I'm going to talk to you soon. Thanks.